It's time for the Democratic Party to start taking names and kicking ass. Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Let's see here. JJ in Indianapolis. Hey, JJ, what's up?
Tom, I just want to know what you think we need to do to make Democrats as strategic and, if necessary, as ruthless as Republicans. And here's my example. I'm an attorney, and for the life of me, I never understood why Obama did not send Merrick Garland directly to the Supreme Court in May or June of 2016, even if it prompted a, quote, constitutional crisis, because the Republican Senate, under Mitch McConnell, gave its implied consent by not acting on its constitutional duty. They waived it across the board in all areas of law, contract law, constitutional law, civil law, etc. There's a concept of implied consent and waiver, that if you don't speak up, you don't act, you waive it. And because the problem with Mitch McConnell's theory, if the Senate has the ability under the Constitution just to not act, that literally gives the Senate the ability to eliminate a branch of government. If the Senate never acts when judges die or retire, the entire judicial branch would disappear over time. So obviously that can't be the way to interpret the Constitution. And I know,
well, that was the direction things were going in the last 2 years of the Obama administration, when John Roberts wrote a letter to Mitch McConnell saying, help, the federal judiciary is reaching a point of paralysis. And Mitch McConnell just shrugged his shoulders and said, wait till the next election. We think we're going to have a Republican in office.
Yeah, and so they exploited the situation. But and I know that if Democrats had done the same thing, if you flip all the parties, of course, the Democrats would not have done that. But if the Democrats had the same situation and tried to delay for a year taking any action on a nomination, I know that the Republicans would have made this argument and sent their nominee to the court. And so I just bring that up as an example. But across the board, we've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for the Democratic leadership to wake up and be willing to do whatever is necessary. And as things get worse and worse and worse, we keep on thinking, okay, this is going to be the time. Now they're going to get it. And I'm just not confident in, that they will.
Yeah. Ezra Klein has an interesting op-ed over in the Washington Post today, in which he's basically saying what Republicans in the Senate, what Mitch McConnell has taught Democratic senators, is that if you have the power to do something, you should do it, if it works to the benefit of your party or your perspective or your constituents or your donors. And that is what Republicans have done, even violating all kinds of norms and standards. And frankly, that's what they're talking about doing in directing some of these swing state Republican-controlled legislatures to set up their, a Republican slate of electors, regardless of how the election goes in those states. And I hope this is a message Democrats are getting. This is not, the Senate that it was 50 years ago or even 20 years ago. This is not the Republican Party that we used to deal with that was a relatively honest broker, at least right up until the Reagan years. This is the logical extension of Reagan's lies to America and the lies of Republicans ever since, about a whole spectrum of things, about the environment, about the role of government, about labor, about race relations in the United States, what's going on with all that. All of these things are critical things. And I'm with you, JJ. It is time for Democrats to start, taking names and kicking ass. And if they fail to, it's on them. But we've got to hold them accountable. This is why I tweeted day before yesterday, how do we get Elizabeth Warren as Senate Majority Leader? And I honestly don't know the answer to that question. I believe that it's traditionally basically a seniority position, although that would have put Pat Leahy in there. I think he's the most senior Democrat in the Senate right now. But, it's something that you kind of work your way up to like that. But I would like to see somebody who's breathing fire. And Elizabeth Warren is breathing fire these days. And Chuck Schumer's a decent guy, but he can't even give a damn speech without reading it in a monotone. I mean, it's like, really?
He calls everybody his friends. Our friends on the other side of the aisle.
Right. Right. Yeah. Let's stop shoveling the horse crap here and acknowledge what's actually going on. And let's put people in positions of power in the Democratic Party who are willing to take names and kick ass. Not like Dianne Feinstein, who came out the other day and said, well, I don't know if we should, come on. You have to realize who you're dealing with. JJ, I'm with you. Thanks a lot.